Alright guys, today we're going to install the Green Guard chute blocker on the Skag Tiger Cat 2. This thing's got about 2,000 hours on it already, minus 1,999.8. First thing we're going to do is lay out all our tools, our pieces.
Parts.
And I'm going to take this off, the original guard. That is worthless anyway, but I'll still keep it because I'm a hoarder. So I'm going to pause the video and get ready for the next step. I'm going to get this off. It ain't nothing but 1/2-inch bolts. Alright, I am using the no drill adapter plate. And pretty much just, I had to file these little bends just a hair so I wouldn't have to beat it in there. But it
Bam,
still
bam.
is a snug fit. So,
Sorry about all that noise with them raindrops on the roof.
ow.
Bam, 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 bam.
Right. Right.
All right, all right, all right.
Oh yeah, deep well would be great. Ow. Alright. Now, position this sucker. Or get it all lined up with the discharge with the 1-inch bolts coming up from the bottom. And the nylocks. I'll tell you what, this thing is solid. Looks like a 1/4-inch sheet steel. Been stamped out. Man, it is rigid.
I say rigid.
Got loose. Alright. Just leave it all loose. You can adjust it. I don't know why these are not. Go ahead and tighten. Because there ain't no adjustment for them. So we're gonna tighten those. Oh, that's rocking. Okay. Don't you gotta adjust it to the length? Alright guys, what I did here is drop my deck down to the lowest setting and put these blocks, which is level with the bottom of the deck, over here and let that set on it in 2 places and slid it to the very edge and put these spacers here with the little extension. I ain't sure it's 100% accurate, but that's with the combinations of the bolts I had, the little shorties down here.
None of what I'm telling you right now really matters.
And I think these were seems like these were the inch and these were the 3/4. And that was like, I don't know, 1.5 inches maybe. but just kind of lined it up. It says you got about 4 inches of play either side worth of holes to get it right. So just do the best you can. It ain't too hard to figure out. It's just to, you know, get your bolts right first, your lengths, know your spacing. Because I want that thing, the motor come at the 90, I guess at the closed position, but it seemed like it was slightly off for my application, so that's why I went with these guys. I think it's the thinnest ones they came with. It's like a 1/4 inch. But it looks pretty tight. So at least I'm pretty sure when I close that motor, close that blocker, it'll come down there tight. And this one did come with the dust stopper for when it opens. I guess it mounts. It's got magnets. It'll mount somewhere right in here. So I'll worry about that later. I had to take the magnets off just to keep them from being aggravating for a minute during the install. Whoa. So now on to the wiring part. I'll be back once I read a little bit on it. Next step, all I did was I mounted it kind of, you know, right in the start of the bend. That way, you know, if I want to jump over here and control it with my thumb, I can still control the mower pretty good. Or long, you know, long runs right here. It's usually where I'm at. A lot of times one-handed, too, I can jump over there and get it. I use these little spacers that I just found. I really hate to dig in and damage this, but I guess it'll be okay. Probably gonna be there for a long time. But it's pretty solid right there. Only thing I gotta worry about is bumping my knees. I got a couple yards that they like for me to cut the dirt out of the yard. I want it so low. But you know, I'll just put me something. Either cut that off, find me some new screws, put me a wire nut or something on there. I'll figure something out to make sure I don't split a kneecap. Ouch! All right. Now I will run that one to the motor and run this one to the battery and route it. It says to make sure you drop your deck down before you start zip tying it in. So, shouldn't be too bad. But just make sure I got clearance for raising and lowering the deck. And I'll do that next. All right, fellas, I got the toggle switch zip tied up, the cable, best I could. I'm sure there's a million different ways to do it. I left me, you know, some hand room here. I didn't want it real sharp, wearing on the wires. So I tied one here, went down between this little channel, zip tied around. This one here is going back to the battery. I ain't messed with it yet. That'll be here in a few minutes. Looped around, went under this, there's a little bit of space back in there behind that safety switch. Yes, I probably could have come straight down, but I didn't really want to tie in here in case you have to get to that bolt. I know you can cut it, but a few extra curves don't make me no difference. But everything flexes nice, forward, backward, and don't put it in a bind. This is tied. There's a little bit of space behind this plate that you can get a big zip tie. Put all my extra here, put a few zip ties around here, and then let it run on down to the motor. I guess the worst could happen, you know, a limb or a bush can hit it, but I got it to where it can peel back a little bit and hopefully I catch it. I don't know what else you do. I'm trying to save my little magnets. I might end up putting me one here, but I may need them back here for the battery connecting. So I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, I've routed it. Already showed you that. Down through there. Coming up under the switch, and then it splits, going back to the battery. I got it. One of these little zip ties with the eyelet in it. I got it. Oh, stretch. It can do. It ain't gonna interfere. Closest thing it is to the deck release. I think it's okay. I just ran, I know you can't see it, but I ran a zip tie through here, connected it to one of these. So I could put a little zip tie here and one right here. Ran it between these two safety switches. There's a little hole in the bottom of this safety switch you can tie zip tie to.
Fuse.
And I popped one right here. And then
Pop the hood.
so there's a little hole in the safety switch.
Fuse, that is.
Zip tied it to these existing wiring. Zip tied on down. Got to keep everything below this battery. This is where the seat plate hits. Just run it down through there. I went ahead and zip tied that little fuse or whatever it is to the plate. Got to take your negative off first, then your positive, and install in reverse order. And I tied it to the negative, buckled it to the positive, just taped up my extra for the non-battery mowers, the pull crank motors, just taped them up, tucked them down in. And that's it. Make sure everything's out of the way. The seat comes down, we gotta make sure it dodges this. And now we will test it.
3 hours later.
Let's test it. Left should be open, right should be closed. Oh yeah. Oh, don't need to come out high. Mercy. It works. Success.
Thanks for watching. Hope you get some help from this video.